This video is up of this thing. So far we've just, I didn't really actually show this, but so far, sorry, let's just pick this up. We make sure you set this to pixel perfect. I forgot that. Sorry, that is an important-ish thing. Okay, this is gonna be heart manager. This is switched to half mode, so half mode, which is gonna be switch to hard mode. Don't know which one. Add half, maybe? I think it's add half. Yeah, it's a weird name for it, but okay. Let's switch current half will be obviously the hard mode. So what we will see is we will see this change still a bit, and we'll see this cycle for each one, and it is obviously cycling for each one since none of this code's actually set. A lot of it is just getting the variables, so we are actually cycling through them, and we're going to be going through how to add a heart today. This is a very long script and will probably be 2 videos. I'm going to try to knock this down tonight, but it is 9:20 right now, so it does mean I am quite tired, and it's a lot of script. It's probably 200-ish line of codes. Well, there's a lot of if statements, so, obviously. So we're just going to start. So what we're going to do is we're going to check if current hearts is less than max hearts. Okay, so what we do is we're checking for current hearts, which is, as you may have realized last lesson, or last tutorial, is essentially all our red hearts and all our blue hearts, and we're adding them together, and we're checking that that's less than max hearts. So every time we add a heart, this will happen. So if you want to add 8 hearts, what you do is you would send a system, you'd have a different function for this, right? And you'd basically go for each, you'd have a number, how many times you added, and you go for each add number wanting to add, you do it. So obviously that doesn't really support adding, 2 blues, 1 black. Well, kind of does. Actually, it does. You just say, okay, 2 blues, 1 black. But you'd have to call that twice. Okay, let's continue. If current hearts is greater than 0. There was a bug with it. I don't know whether or not when I redid it, it was still there. I just decided to keep this in. Essentially, actually, no, it is still there because I'll show you why. Let's just keep going. If we're checking if hearts add, or heart add, is equal to heart choices. Was that this, right? Dot. Checking the notes red because we need to check the notes red. So essentially, what we've done so far, I probably should have kept this up. Downloads. Here we go. That's the right one. Essentially, right now, what we're doing is we're doing here. Right, we're right here. Done the basic stuff, and we're just going, okay, red is more important, right? Essentially, we probably should actually jump to red. Do you have any red hearts? And then skip over to no. She knows this, right? So, finding red hearts. So we're saying this is where we're adding all this together, right? So we're checking if it's enough. Then we're making sure that the rhearts.count is greater than 0, because as I said before, this current hearts problem would still happen if rhearts is equal to 0 or less, right? And this is why. One more line code. We're checking whether it's full, and then we're checking if rhearts.count -1 is half. So I'll let you write that down. Let's see how many freaking ones we have. There's a lot. So what we're doing is there'll be a lot of else statements, just saying. So that's why. So what we're doing is we're checking whether or not, because there'll be a statement of this, a statement of this, a statement of this, a statement of this, and not an else statement of that. So there's pretty, most of them could be else statements. So obviously the -1. So if your count is 0, so that's you have no hearts, it's going to go, well, we don't have a -1, so it's going to return an error. But so you just want to add one, right? Obviously you can't do that. Same with this, if all your hearts are equal to, if you have no hearts, then it's still going to bug out. So you're just making sure, because of this because it's calculation. Now this is a very cool thing I found. Right? This is probably not the best way to do it. I'm going to do it anyway because it's fun. Because we really shouldn't be making ones like this, right? You should really be declaring it up here or even at the top. But it'll be fun, right? And what we're doing is that's just saying we haven't used it yet, right? And we're saying our hearts dot count minus 1. So we're actually acknowledging that the last one is half, right? And we're saying it's not half anymore, right? Because we're going to add an extra one. Because obviously we're adding full, so thus we should add a full heart, as shown here. We have yes, and is the last half? Yes. Adding full half, we're adding full for the last heart and an extra half. Exactly what we're doing here. Change is equal to our hearts minus 1 dot heart. Is it main heart? Yes. Then our hearts count minus 1 dot main heart is equal to, see what I'm saying? There's a lot of code. There's like a lot of this kind of stuff. Other hearts. And then we go, okay, our hearts dot count minus 1 dot other heart is equal to interchange. Because there's no way for us to switch to. Maybe there is, but this just works fine. Then we're adding a new heart. I haven't shown this yet, but this is how we add a new heart. And we add a new heart, and what we want is we just want to give it a few things. We want to give our first sprite. So what do we call it? We called it collection hearts. Okay. And we'll go, okay, we're going collection hearts of heart number. Because as you know, down here we set our heart number. So, you know, obviously that's going to be correct. Then we want to go, okay, now we want to say, yes, it is a half, right, because we're adding half. And then we want to get another collection of hearts. And we want to get a heart number plus 1, because that's how we get a half. And then it's going to give our heart number so we can know in the future what hearts it's on. Why does not like it? Hearts special to heart. Oh, so new hearts. Sorry about that. Make sure it's new heart, just because I've got another script called hearts, and that's what's stuffing up because I must have autocorrected to that. Now I am going to copy and paste this because this script is going to be used a few times, but I mean you can probably rewrite if you want. Okay, next we want to choose else if the opposite are hearts. I'll count minus 1 dot is half. If it isn't half, then seriously, just add a heart. Alright? Why are you complaining? You know, let's add a heart of, I probably could have just done this. That would be smarter. And just do that. And then we want to say, no, it is not half. It's a full heart, because obviously the last heart isn't full. It's, I mean, obviously, sorry, myself left. Obviously the last heart is a full heart. Right, now we're going to check else if half full is equal to half. So checking whether or not it's half. If hearts dot count minus 1 dot is half. If it is half, then do you know that code we copied before? Frick, I'm gonna do. There you go. So that's gonna be a colon. But the only difference here is we want to say, is there actually a difference? We're not adding one, that's why. Okay, that's a big difference. So we're just adding one. We're not adding one. That's a big difference. Yes. Okay, we're checking else if it's not half. Okay, good. The opposite are hearts. Our hearts dot count -1 dot is half. And then we're just checking. Then you can seriously just add a heart. Obviously, this time we are adding a half heart since we're saying this is what we're adding. We're adding a half heart. So I'll go through the code just one more time. So essentially, we already know this bit, right? If you're red, if you're over 0, if you're adding a full heart, then this is where you get two choices. So if you're adding a full heart and the last one is a half a heart, then what we want to do is we want to filter, which is all that code, and then we want to add a new heart, essentially. Right? We want to add a brand new heart, and we want this heart to be half, because obviously that makes sense. And then else if it's not half, then thus we have a full heart, we can just add a full heart, right? The reason that we want our hearts, the reason that we can't have both red hearts and black hearts and blue hearts all under one list, I've tried this, trust me, I have. I have tried it probably over like probably 12, 16 hours to do it because it's so much easier to comprehend that way. The big problem is ordering. It's really hard to order them properly. I got it working. I did. I just took a lot more statements. And the big problem I had was that it was kind of hard to get these hearts dot count. And really, to be perfectly honest, you actually get to a for loop and go through each one and check whether or not the one was equal to red and half. And that's not plausible for a code to have that many for loops. It's fine, but it probably wasn't great. Okay, then we next want to have one. Oh, it's really hard to get where these ones are. So it looks like we're adding 3 based on 0. Yes, okay, this is good. So else. This one we're not actually adding else if, because we're actually adding an else statement, then we're adding an if statement. So it kind of seems weird. You go, oh, well, this is else if. No, because we got an else if onto our if statement. So it's an if inside an else, which has, it's else if and that's related to if, which isn't, they're both inside an else statement. It's kind of hard to understand. We're just checking this is good to full. If heart add is equal to red, wait, what was this related to? Yeah, okay, good. Could have this over. Like that. Okay, there we go. If it's equal to full, I didn't have this, but this will work. If it's equal to full, then what we want to do is we're going to go our hearts dot add. We can just copy and paste this. False. To that, else if half full is equal to half. They can do the exact same thing, but actually you are doing the exact same thing. And obviously true is correct. Next, what we want to do is we want to go quite a few down, and this else if I can't see this linked up. We're going there. Wait, where is this? Else if the choice is black. Okay, so we're going off this one, yeah. If heart to add is equal to black, or heart to add is equal to blue. Beautiful. This is quite a long episode. I think I'm going to end probably. This will work. Or it should work. But we're not refreshing. So what I can show you is I'll show you what happens. This should still not stuff out on me. Yeah, it doesn't. Good. Okay, because I got it right. See, heart to add red. If we add a heart, what happened is under red hearts, it should add a heart. Obviously, these have to be linked up to add heart. Because I mean, what are we meant to do if they're not? Calm your farm. Okay, there we go, beautiful. And then we're going to add a heart. So it should add a heart under scripts. Add heart. It should be adding a heart. If coordinates together, yes, it should add a heart. Just checking. Okay, so heart choices is red. I'm gonna start checking. Heart choices is red. So adding heart should work. I probably haven't broken it, but oh, let's break back. It's not working on 0, so that means at 0. I see. We need another else. Sorry. Essentially, it's the same thing. Just see black, blue. See if 2 is red. Why am I dirtying it? Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, okay, sorry. I will just, for the meantime, I'll just boost this to 1. The reason it's bugging out is just because I haven't set script, so that's why. It will work if I boost current hearts to 1 actually. I can boost this back down. Okay, I will have to boost this to 1. So just ignore that one, but if we add a heart, we'll get a new heart. With all our detail, if we move heart, obviously that won't work. If we add a half heart, we see it's clicked as is half. As you would have seen. Okay, if we add a heart, we get a half heart, and if we add another heart, this will fill up. Right, so you'll see a visual representation of that next time. I know that was a bit weird how that was shown. Why do I actually have this here? But I will demonstrate more into big detail late next time on how it works. See you next time.